She asked me to choose. I could only point at her asterisk asterisk. The council chamber aboard the starship asterisk Aetheris asterisk was vast beyond comprehension. Even standing at the edge of the assembly, I felt its weight pressing on my consciousness. The walls glimmered with a translucent material, refracting light into prismatic patterns that shimmered like liquid crystal. Hundreds of beings from countless civilizations, humans, hybrids, alien species, and AI delegates, filled the concentric seating, each carrying the authority of worlds beyond imagination. I had been chosen to attend this convocation not because of my rank, nor because of extraordinary talent, but because of a peculiar gift. The elders of the Alliance called it the asterisk site of potential star. I could see fleeting possibilities before they occurred, visions of outcomes that hovered on the edge of reality. It was a gift that had both saved me and isolated me throughout my life. I was often cautious, analyzing, calculating, yet my intuition had never failed me. Until today, I thought I knew my limits. Nothing in all my visions, all my training, had prepared me for what I was about to experience. At the center of the dais stood her, Princess Alara of the Andori Dominion. She was ethereal, impossibly tall, with a presence that radiated authority and serenity simultaneously. Her skin shimmered faintly in iridescent hues, reflecting the light of the chamber as if she were made from starlight itself. Her eyes, twin galaxies captured in black orbs, seemed to see not just me, but into me. Around her neck, a crystal amulet pulsed with a soft blue glow, a symbol of power and heritage. The room hushed as she raised her hand. "Humans," she said, her voice melodic yet commanding, "are often indecisive when faced with choices that affect the cosmos. That indecision is both your weakness and your strength. Today, one among you will be given a choice, one choice that will define not only your destiny, but the fate of the Alliance." The delegates murmured among themselves, the sound like rustling leaves. My chest tightened. The convocation had been planned for weeks, yet no one was prepared for this announcement. Solara's gaze fell on me, and I felt a strange pulse in the air. My name had been selected in advance, though I had been unaware until this moment. I, the human delegate, the one who could see beyond the immediate, was to make the choice. She gestured toward a single seat at the center of the dais. Unlike the others, this seat was not merely a throne. Its surface shimmered like liquid metal, reflecting starlight from the chamber's ceiling. I felt its energy even from where I stood, a subtle pull that resonated with my heartbeat. "Sit," Solara commanded. "Pick one among these," she said, gesturing toward the assembly, "and the consequences of your choice will echo across the universe." I froze. I could see the possibilities, worlds at war, alliances crumbling, species extinct or thriving, all contingent on a single decision. The weight of it pressed down on me, yet my gaze kept returning to her. Not to the political powerhouses, not to the strategists and diplomats, but her, Princess Alara herself. I stepped forward, my heartbeat echoing in my ears. Every step felt amplified, as if the floor itself bore witness to my actions. The forbidden seat beneath me hummed faintly, vibrating with the same rhythm as my pulse. She extended her hand. "Pick one," she said, eyes locking on mine. "Choose wisely, for your decision will define everything." I looked at the other delegates. Each one represented a civilization, a planet, a way of life. A miscalculation could ignite wars, collapse alliances, and trigger catastrophes in sectors far beyond this starship. And yet, despite all the possible futures unfolding in my mind, my instinct pointed me toward her. I pointed. The gasps were immediate. The room held its breath. Princess Alara's eyes widened. Her lips parted, and then slowly she smiled. "You chose me," she whispered, almost to herself. In that instant, the floor beneath the dais rippled and dissolved, revealing an infinite expanse of stars and nebulae. I was no longer on the asterisk Aetheris star. I was suspended in a void that defied reality, standing on a platform of light, the cosmos spinning in infinite directions. Princess Alara was beside me, her aura magnified in this surreal space. What is this?" I asked, voice trembling. "This is the threshold," she said. "A realm beyond space and time, where the consequences of choice unfold before reality takes form. You have chosen me. Now you will see what that choice entails." Visions unfurled around us. I saw entire civilizations teetering on the brink of collapse, planets consumed by internal strife, and empires rising from ashes, all traced back to my choice. The magnitude of what I had done was staggering, yet thrilling in its scope. I stammered. I didn't know it would. You did know, she said softly, her hand resting lightly on my shoulder. Your gift allows you to see, but your heart guided you anyway. That is why you were chosen. Time became meaningless. We traversed cosmic vision together, realities shifting, looping, and splitting with every decision. She guided me, and in doing so, I began to understand the true depth of her power. Solara did not just command armies or civilizations. She commanded the very potential of the universe, bending possibilities into paths of harmony or chaos. Hours, or perhaps days, passed in this cosmic liminality. We encountered alien entities that defied comprehension, life forms composed of light, intelligence embedded in entire planetary systems, and beings that existed simultaneously in multiple dimensions. Each encounter tested my intuition and courage, forcing me to navigate moral dilemmas and cosmic ethics that challenged everything I believed. I can't do this alone, I admitted one moment, overwhelmed by the enormity of the visions. Even with my gift, the weight is too great. You will never be alone, she said, eyes glowing faintly in the starlight. You chose me, and I choose you. Together, we will face these consequences and shape what must come to pass. In the midst of these revelations, a shadow emerged, an entity of pure entropy, seeking to exploit hesitation and fracture the threads of causality. Its presence was terrifying, a void of thought and light, consuming all potential futures that lack cohesion. We must act, Solara said, resolute. Not merely observe. We must synchronize, human. Our will must be unified. I closed my eyes, focusing. My visions aligned with haze, our consciousness intertwining. I realized that the gift I had relied upon all my life was amplified by trust and connection. Together, we contained the entity, guiding it into a loop of harmless outcomes, neutralizing the threat. When the threshold dissolved, we were back on the asterisk ether star. Everything was changed. The delegates were still present, but no longer tense or fearful. Instead, they regarded us with awe. Solara's presence beside me was more than regal. It was protective, radiant, and unshakable. You have passed the trial, she said softly. Not because of your sight, but because of your choice. Courage, empathy, and trust, these define a true leader. The following weeks were a blur of diplomacy and exploration. Solara and I became an inseparable pair in the Alliance's efforts to stabilize fractious sectors, mediate disputes, and chart unclaimed regions of space. Our partnership was not merely political. It was an intimate symbiosis of mind, will, and spirit. Even amidst the formalities, there were moments of quiet intimacy. Late nights in the observation deck, watching binary stars set across alien horizons, we shared thoughts without words. Each moment strengthened the bond forged at the dais, the moment I pointed and chose her. One such night, as twin suns bled across a lavender sky, Solara turned to me. "Do you remember the moment you chose me?" she asked. "I do," I said. "It feels both like yesterday and a lifetime ago." That choice, it set everything in motion. Remember it always. "I will," I promised. The universe continued to unfold around us, full of wonders, dangers, and mysteries, but I faced it not as a solitary human with a gift, but as a partner in a cosmic bond. Every time I saw Princess Solara, her gaze reminded me of that first moment. I felt the infinite possibilities of the future stretching before us, and I knew that one simple choice, a single gesture, could echo across galaxies. Over time, our partnership grew beyond diplomacy. The threshold had shown me potential futures not just for entire civilizations, but for personal connection. Solara and I explored the frontiers of human and Andori culture, merging philosophies, sciences, and arts. We discovered that understanding another being across species was not just about communication. It was about shared experience, empathy, and risk. Then came the test none of us had anticipated. A rogue faction from the outer systems, dissatisfied with the Alliance's governance, launched a coordinated attack on multiple sectors simultaneously. Entire fleets were at risk, and the Council of the Seven Stars looked to Solara and me for a solution. "This is a choice that must be made," she said gravely. And it is not just strategy. It is morality, leadership, and courage all at once. I studied the maps, the fleet positions, the potential outcomes. Every decision had ripples across light years. Yet my mind kept returning to her, not as a distraction, but as a compass. My instincts, sharpened by the threshold, guided me. I gave commands that balanced risk with opportunity, combining human innovation with Andori insight. The conflict was resolved with minimal loss, a testament to our partnership. And as we stood on the observation deck afterward, overlooking the aftermath of war and the fragile peace restored, I realized the choice I had made that day, to point at her, was not just about love or trust. It was about the courage to act in alignment with one's convictions, even when the stakes were unimaginable. Life aboard the Aetherus continued, filled with missions, negotiations, and discoveries. Yet I knew that the defining moment of my life had already occurred, the moment I chose her, and she chose me. That choice had reshaped not just my destiny, but countless worlds across the stars. And so, as new stars were born in distant nebulae and civilizations rose and fell in the far reaches of the galaxy, I stood beside Princess Alara, ready to face the unknown, bound not just by duty, but by the infinite possibilities of trust, courage, and love. I had pointed, I had chosen, and in that choice, the universe had changed forever.